Alright, this is Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. Of course, we're going to pop that in the old SNES Junior and take a look at this. Now, this game was developed by Rare, published by Nintendo. Starts off here, we can actually see a little bit of the traditional Donkey Kong with the sort of construction platforms there. But get out of here, old Donkey Kong. This is the new Donkey Kong. And look at those graphics. Beautiful colors. Really taking advantage of the Super Nintendo's 32,000 color palette. The game was released in November of 1994. And as we can see, we start off here on the map. Now here's the basic storyline: is these Kremlin creatures took all your bananas. And do you really want to steal a monkey's bananas? I don't think so. So basically you just want to get your bananas back. First little tip here of the day is you can go into your house and get a 1-up. So that's where you come out of, just go right back in there and there's a free 1-up. The red balloons are free men. And here we go, starting the game. Now first things first, we're going to open up Diddy Kong here. This game has a pretty neat feature with the way that you switch between Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. It sort of acts as your Mushroom in Mario. It's your extra hit. So as long as you have Diddy Kong with you, or vice versa, you'll have an extra hit. Now there you can see we spelled Kong and we got an extra life. Each level will have the K, the O, the N, and the G hidden. And if you can get Kong in each level, you'll get an extra man. You'll also get an extra man when you collect 100 bananas. So between the red balloons, between collecting bananas and spelling Kong in each level, you can rank up the lives, which you'll need for the later levels, as they do get a little bit on the difficult side. Little hint to Donkey Kong in the barrels. These barrels that shoot you around in the game are a big part of some of the levels. Now I'm going to shut up here and we're going to listen to the music, because the music in this level is amazing. Here's the first boss. The boss battles are all fairly easy. I believe it's 5 hits basically to kill the boss, and you just have to avoid getting hit. And there we go. Now, like I said, this game was developed by Rare, not by Nintendo. So this was actually the first Donkey Kong game not to be produced by Shigeru Miyamoto. And how did Shigeru feel about this game? Well, he's actually been quoted as saying, "This game is proof people will put up with mediocre controls as long as the graphics are good." So, apparently, he's not a big fan of this game. Truth is, I don't think there's anything wrong with the controls in this game. In fact, considering the large sprites and the, ridiculously smooth animation, the controls and the hit detection and all that stuff that you might think is off is not off. This game plays very, very well. Shigeru Miyamoto later apologized, saying he was under a lot of pressure from Nintendo to make Super Mario World 2 similar to Donkey Kong Country. And so maybe that had something to do with it, or the fact that, well, this was the first Donkey Kong game, that he wasn't producing. So, maybe he was a little bit upset about that. Sort of his child here is Donkey Kong and the Donkey Kong characters, and to see someone else making your game might not like that too much. This game was ported to the Wii Virtual Console in December 2006. It was also released on the Game Boy Color. This is a 32 megabit Super Nintendo cartridge, so it's definitely one of the bigger Super Nintendo cartridges. And, there was a lot of hype put behind this game, a lot of advertising. We all remember, if you were a subscriber to Nintendo Power, the VHS tape that you may have got in the mail, really showing all the secret levels and talking about how they made this game. And, at the time, they were sort of teasing Sega a little bit, saying that this game was not on Sega, it was not on 32-bit. You did not need a 32X add-on to play this game. And, this is one of the best looking games on the 16-bit systems. The color and the animation, really top-notch. And a lot of that has to do with the fact this game was all pre-rendered on Silicon Image workstation, graphic stations. And, it's not that they could have done that earlier, but it must have cost a whack load of money to have these renderings done. And really, it's the production value and the money put into this game. No game had spent so much money on, computerized, pre-rendered graphics before Donkey Kong Country. I've had this game on the Super Nintendo for a little while, and I've been hesitant to review it. Truth is, I always kinda liked the game, but I never really loved the game. And Donkey Kong Country is such a popular game. I just kind of figured, it's probably been reviewed a million times before, and a lot of them are probably better than what I'm going to be doing. So, I really do enjoy reviewing games that maybe got missed or most people haven't seen. I like showing things that people haven't really seen before. And, well, let's be honest, everybody's seen Donkey Kong Country before. And, the fact I liked the game but probably didn't love the game just didn't really make me want to review this. But that all changed this New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve I had my buddy over. I haven't seen him in a while, and he never really grew up with console gaming. He had an NES and he had a few games for that, and then other than that, that was it. He never had a Super Nintendo, he never had a Sega Genesis. He was all about PC gaming, Doom and Wolfenstein and Duke Nukem 3D, and he was all about the PC gaming, and he really just didn't care about consoles. He never, had a PlayStation, he never cared about the PlayStation. And so I always, thought of him as never caring for console games much. And he was over, and out of the blue he said, "Let's play Super Nintendo." I'm like, "Yeah, you want to play Super Nintendo? I know you had an NES, but you never had a Super Nintendo growing up." It's like, "No, but my friends had Super Nintendo, and I remember Donkey Kong Country was pretty fun. Let's play that. And I was like, okay, if you want to play it. And 30 minutes later, I was just like, this is the best game ever made! It's so fun two-player. You have to play this game with 2 players. It's very fun. Great controls, great game, great levels. The sound and graphics are top-notch on the Super Nintendo. Absolutely, this is a must-have game for the Super Nintendo. So there you go. See you later.